Good afternoon, Columbia, Missouri. This is Dennis McKay with Mobile Fitness Solutions and Beachbody Coach. I thought today I would show you some of my meal prep and what I can get done, what you can get done in 1 hour. A lot of times you'll see people talk about meal prep and they'll say, okay, this is what we're going to start with, and then they cut and then they show you the finished product and you think, what? How long did that really take? So what I wanted to do is give you a real life example, and if you're watching this later you can fast forward through it, of course, but what I wanted to do today is work on preparing oatmeal for breakfast, turkey wraps for a snack, and sweet potato pie or sweet potato salad. I'm not sure what to really call it, but you can see the ingredients that I use as we go along. So I'm going to start from scratch, just from the beginning, okay? So you can get an idea of how long an hour of meal prep actually takes. 60 minutes, or what you can get done in an hour of meal prep. So I'm going to start with the oatmeal first, which I have down here, and I'm going to use this scale here, and I'm going to switch this to kilograms and zero it out. Oop, turned it off. Okay, technology. Okay, now it's switched to kilograms and it's zeroed out. Now what I'm doing here is I'm looking on the back of the label. It says a serving size is 1/4 cup or 40 grams. So I'm just going to use the grams, and I'm going to pour this in here. I'm going to make 6 days worth. So 6 times 40 is 240. So I'm going to put 240 grams of oatmeal in here. Okay, there's 240 grams. Then I'm going to take this pan or pot, not sure which to call it, but I'm going to take this and add my water to it. First I'm actually going to add a cup and a half of almond milk, just to give it a little sweeter flavor. Now the directions say, you know, for each 1/4 cup or 40 grams to use 1 cup of water. That takes a really long time in my opinion, so I'm going to use a total of only 5 cups of liquid, 1 1/2 of almond milk, and what is that, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, whatever the remainder is. I'm going to use water. Okay, so I'm going to get some almond milk over here. Got 2 cartons. This I bought just today. Been out and about. Had an appointment earlier this morning at 7 a.m. and haven't gotten my workout in, but I'm going to do this meal prep first, and then I'm going to get the workout in. So here is going to be 1 full cup of almond milk here. Takes a very steady hand. I don't know, maybe you can remember that commercial from when you were younger, because every day we get a day older. If anybody remembers what that's from, send me a message and I'll see if I can't get a prize sent over to you. The first one who responds anyway, I'll send a prize. Alright, so that's the end of this carton. Let's set this over here to go out. Here is the 1/2 cup of almond milk. And I'll just pour that right into the full cup, measuring cup. I'll put this back. And I'm going to because I'm a stickler for measurements and so forth, I'm going to make sure, yeah, just right. So there's 2 full cups of liquid. Here's 3. 4. And 5. All right. Now I'm going to put this on the stove and turn it on to boil. All right. Prepare my laptop so it's out of the way. Get a paper towel. Put my spoon on. And I'm going to use for stirring. Okay. So got that there. This here. I don't know. Hopefully this will work. You know, you see a lot of different recipe articles written. It's written out and it says takes 15 minutes to prepare or whatever, and or like I mentioned before, there will be cooking shows and they'll talk about putting all the ingredients together, put it in the oven, and 1 hour later it comes out. Okay, fine. I thought this will show you exactly what I can get done in 1 hour. So while that is waiting to boil, I'm going to get some eggs for the turkey wraps. Well, I'm going to get them out, but I'm going to measure out the turkey first. So I know that I've got my oatmeal here, and that's steel cut oats, by the way, and I keep some of these handy little, these were old frozen dinner containers, I guess, that I used to eat way back a long time ago. I don't eat them anymore, but I thought maybe these will come in handy, and they have, for sure. So I'm going to switch this back to ounces. I'm going to zero out my scale. Now I had some turkey left over from last week, so I'm going to use that. And the turkey I'm using is natural choice. It has no nitrites or no nitrates or nitrites added to it. So I'm going to measure out how much turkey I have here based on what my recipe is going to be, which is going to be, bear with me just 1 minute, get my mouse, which I forgot. It's okay. Roughly 3 slices. So I'm going to get out a couple of plates so I can see how much turkey I have to use here, which will determine how many eggs that I boil. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put these measuring cups in the dishwasher. Kind of hold there. And the whole time I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on that boiling water and almond milk to make sure it doesn't boil over. That can be a mess for sure. Okay, so what my recipe calls for is 3 of these slices of turkey. And I guess I really don't need to measure that out, except for, yeah, half a red container. And what I've been doing here lately, or just actually starting to use, is the 21-day fixed meal plan. In the 21-day fix guide or booklet, it talks about 1 full red container would be 4 or 6 slices of turkey. They determined that, I'm not exactly sure, but you can't really stuff turkey into the container, so they determined that 6 slices of turkey would be 1 full container. I'm going to use half because I'm going to use another half for something later on, but 3 slices would be equal to half a red container, and this actually equals out to about 2 ounces of turkey. All right, so there's going to be 1. Let's see how many turkey wraps I can make today. There's going to be 2. It sounds like it's getting busy over there. 3. And I've got another package here. I've got another 2 pieces left. And the other thing that I always like to keep handy is just a paper towel. You know, grabbing turkey and then, you know, handling oatmeal and so forth without clean hands. So there's 2. This will make 3 pieces here for this one. So now I've got enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. You know, I may not cook 7. How about just cooking 6? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this turkey back into this little pouch here. And it stays good for a long time. I'm just going to, it's got a Ziploc seal. I'm going to zip that up, wipe my hands off, all while keeping an eye on that oatmeal, right? Throw this box away because it's now empty. I'll put this back in here so that I can use it next time. Alright. So now that I know how much turkey I'm going to use, I can determine the number of eggs I need to boil. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to use this little pot right here. I'm going to take and put, and I use large brown eggs anyway. It doesn't necessarily specify, I don't think, in the 21-day fix, or it might, I'm not sure. I'll have to take a closer look at that. But I've got 2 different kinds of brown eggs. They're all about the same size. I like to use kind of smaller ones for the turkey wraps because using the tortilla and everything can be kind of difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have to keep a close eye on this. See, there it goes, it's starting to boil. Okay, so I pour that in and I reduce the heat down to a simmer. Okay, I'm just going to stir this a couple of times. Okay. To begin with, and it will get thicker as it simmers. And I'll take it off the stove when it's good and thick. So now I'm going to put water into the pan with the 6 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to let that boil. Now I know that multitasking was a popular thing back a few years ago at work. You know, they would always say, if you can't multitask, then this or that or whatever. And then after a few years, they discovered that multitasking is actually less efficient. You get less done of many different things. However, with cooking, it's a different kind of situation. If I were to wait until the oatmeal was cooked before I started any of these other things, it would just be a waste of time. I'm sure you save time by preparing more than one thing or multitasking in your kitchen as well. So I'm just going to rinse this plate off real quick, because I'm going to use it again here in just a few minutes. I'll show you how I'm going to use that. Now once that water starts to boil with the eggs, I'm going to set my timer, which is over here, for 15 minutes. I'll put that over on the refrigerator there. Now I've got my tortillas ready for the turkey wraps, and I'm going to slide all this stuff over here for right now, because while that is working, I'm going to be working on the sweet potato salad or sweet potato pie. Let me get those containers out of the refrigerator. Okay, that one's ready for tomorrow. Okay, my sweet potato salad or sweet potato pie consists of one yellow, according to the 21-day fix guide, one yellow, half of a red. See, that's where the halves come in handy. I'm using half of a red for my turkey wrap, and I'm going to use half of a red, which comes out to about 1.5 ounces of ground turkey for my sweet potato salad. Let's see. I'm going to have a green, which is for vegetables here, which is going to consist of yellow squash and carrots. And I'll show you how that measures out in just 1 minute. So, I'll get a clean container here. What I've got here in these two containers is sweet potatoes. Now, these are things that I had prepared before the past couple of weeks, and I had leftover sweet potatoes. So what I did was I put them in these containers and froze them so that I could use at times like this. So I'm just going to get out the rest of my containers here, just in case I need them. Which I probably will. Alright. So, the sweet potatoes pie, salad, whatever, is going to consist of one yellow. And these, while they were frozen, I did thaw them out yesterday afternoon and overnight, putting them in the refrigerator. And I could, what I'm going to do is use a flat spoon rather than something like this where the sweet potatoes can fall through. I use a flat spoon for that. Okay. And I'm going to fill this up, and maybe you can see that there. This is sweet potatoes. Now I'll show you. I'll go to the market this week because I'm going to need some more sweet potatoes, I believe, for next week. Possibly I'll need some for this week too. But it almost looks like baby food. And I'll tell you where I got these. I got these at Lee's Market downtown. And I know that there are a lot of good health food stores, and these are what they provide different kinds of fruits and vegetables. But these are what you would call Japanese or Korean sweet potatoes. They look a little bit different, especially now that I've cooked them and that they have been mashed up. I'll show you how I do that in a future episode, if you want to call it that. So let me fill this up with sweet potatoes. It looks almost like baby food, doesn't it? Let's see here. Now in my old recipe, I used about 5 ounces of sweet potatoes based on a lot of different calculations and so forth, and I don't know. I thought I would try this method, the 21-day fix method, to see if it would simplify some things. The food prep process, and with the 21-day fix you don't have to count any calories either. You know, you're given these containers and you fill them up based on what your calorie need might be. Okay, so this is going to be one container here, and let's see, I'm just going to dump that in there. See how that looks. I'm going to spread it around a little bit. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. So we've got this all spread around. Now, I had previously prepared, where's that? Some turkey. Okay. This was from a week or two ago, I'm not sure, but after I cooked it and prepared it, I put it in the freezer so I could use it at a later time. So this is fresh, it's good. And what I'm going to do, since on my calculations here, the turkey should be 1.5 ounces. That would equal half of a red container. And I'm just going to spoon this into this container that's on the scale here, and this is going to, that's 1.25. There's 1.5 ounces. Okay, good. So now I'll take this container and put it on top of the sweet potatoes. Now, you might be saying, sweet potatoes and turkey, that sounds a lot like Thanksgiving, and it does. The thing with this recipe is that if you eat sweet potatoes every day, every week, however you want to do it, then it can be Thanksgiving all year round. So that's one way to look at it. That's the way I look at it anyway. To be honest with you, I don't really like very many sweet things. I never really liked what do you call cake, icing, all that stuff. That stuff really makes my teeth hurt. So the sweet things that I do like are kind of few and far between. Sweet potatoes happens to be one of those, and I'm glad. So what I'm going to do here is show you the yellow squash and carrots, which again I had previously prepared. This is the good thing about having extras. Whenever you're cooking for 1 week and you have leftover of any material, you can always freeze it and use it later. So this, you know, was of course fresh, and I thawed it yesterday afternoon and last night. It was in the refrigerator. And so what I want to show you is how the sweet potatoes and yellow squash will equal 1 green container. And the good thing about these containers is whatever it is that you have, it doesn't have to be just one thing that makes up that container. If there are multiple things in the green container list that you like, you can combine those into 1 container. So that's actually a little bit less, but that's okay. It's close enough, right? So I'm going to put all this in here. Okay, almost. There you go. One lunch. Ready to go. All right. I'm going to set that over here, actually. Ooh, just realized I had the wrong burner on. Don't make that mistake. I don't know. All right. The other good thing about using or having leftovers is the stuff was fresh when you put it in. Whenever you cooked it and you put it in the freezer immediately in one of these containers, I can now reuse this container. I don't have to wash this again, I don't think. Anyway, let's see what I can get out of this container of sweet potatoes. See how many meals I can get out of it. And the sweet potatoes that I had prepared before. So this will be 2. Alright. I'm going to get all that sweet potato goodness out. Don't want to leave any behind. I really like sweet potatoes. And the way these cook up, if you cook them right, it's almost like baby food. I prefer the Japanese or Korean sweet potatoes because they look more like real potatoes. American sweet potatoes are orange. I've had plenty of those. They're good too. But these are sweeter. And they taste a lot better. And in my opinion, they cook up and mash up a lot easier. That's just me. Okay, let's get another 1.5 ounces of turkey. 1.5 ounces. Here we go. Oops. All right. So another 1.5 ounces and another container. Let's see. Yeah. Now, to be honest, I had already measured the yellow squash and carrots. Maybe I mentioned that before. So I don't really have to pour it into the green container every time. Since I measured it before I put it in the container, I can just put it over, right? Try not to lose anything during the dumping of the vegetables. Let's watch it. Okay, let's see. Now, I'll put this back. Now what have I got? I've got 2 lunches ready to go. There's the second one. And I'm going to give this oatmeal a stir here. It's looking like it's settled a little bit. So, I want to keep that stirring, but it doesn't have to be a constant stir. I mean, you don't have to stir it continuously. Okay, let's go for another one. Here is our yellow container. Again, filling it up with sweet potatoes. That might do it for this container here. Maybe a little extra. see if we can get those sweet potatoes out. Maybe I packed it too much. Okay, so those eggs are starting to work now that I got the right burner turned on. Okay. Okay. Be careful not to throw your containers in the floor, especially out of anger. So, it's just making noise back there right now. But, and I thought about putting on some music or something, but I thought maybe you have your own music that you like to listen to, you'd like to listen to in the background. Not sure. But anyway, there we go with sweet potatoes. I'm going to measure out 1.5 ounces more of turkey, ground turkey. Ooh, a little too much. It's a good thing about these scales. They tell you right down to the ounce what you've put in. Okay, here we go. That's going to be all of the turkey that I've got, so I know I'm going to need to prepare some more. Okay. Oh wait, I poured the wrong bucket in. My goodness. Okay. Well, we'll take about 1/2 ounce out of this and put it back. Goodness gracious. Am I the only one to have made that mistake? Probably. Anyway. I thought something was wrong about that. I'll put another couple of extra pieces in here. Because... Ooh. Boil over. Now I'll measure out the last of the turkey and see how much I've got. Okay, that's 1.5 ounces. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention was that I think, maybe I didn't, but I don't see a, I usually like to put these little sticky notes, post-it notes, on the containers to say how many ounces of whatever it is that I've got, but I didn't in this case. So, here I am with my yellow squash and carrots. Make sure I get all of that yellow squash and carrot goodness out of the bowl there. Okay. This will go here, and days. I had 1 day already left over, and so that makes it's gonna be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 2 more. Let's see if I can 2 more meals out of the yellow squash that I have left. So what I'm going to do here is use this container. I'm going to take the sweet potatoes out of it and put them back in, because again, this was clean and the sweet potatoes were freshly cooked when I put them into the freezer. Saves on your dishwashing bill. Also, I think you don't have to wash containers as much. Okay, now that'll do it for this container. Luckily, I've got another 8 ounces or so of sweet potatoes in this container. Okay, so I'm going to take from this container and fill up the rest. With sweet potato, delicious sweet potato goodness, right? Okay. Okay. And I want to say, starting off, that when I first started my fitness journey back in 2005, I had modified my my diet in an immense way, because what I had been doing prior to March 7 of 2005 was eating once a day at the end of the day, somewhere between 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at night, and that was just not the way to treat your body. It wasn't then, and it's not now. But when I started working out, there were things that I could have read and should have read, but didn't. So I actually didn't consume enough calories for the amount of exercise I was doing. And maybe sometime I'll post on Facebook the pictures of the picture that I took the morning that I started working out, which was March 7th of 2005. Coming up on 12 years that I've been exercising and in shape. But after that initial 90 days, what I used was Power 90, and I don't know if you can remember back that far, but that was that infomercial was on TV, and they sold it. They didn't even sell it in DVDs at that time, I don't think. They may have, but for whatever reason, I got the there's another 1.5 ounces of turkey. I got the videotapes because that was still in fashion, I suppose. Ooh, let's see. Forgot to set my timer. See how many things can go wrong? I think it's been about 5 minutes since that started boiling. Anyway, got my 1.5 ounces of turkey. This is the remainder of the turkey, which is about 1.25 ounces. So I'm 1/4 ounce short. That's okay, because I just went to the store last night and bought some more turkey, which I'll be cooking up this week. Meal prep is an ongoing thing. I think that if you wait and cook each meal at a time, then it can be dangerous. You may have run out of an ingredient. You may have to run to the store or something like that, but you may not have time. And in that case, say you're on your way home from work, or you're on your way to work or something like that, you stop off at a fast food place and get something that is not going to be healthy for you at all. Okay? So preparing meals, I mean, I think I would spend probably more time if I was preparing a single meal at a time. But this way, I can cook and prepare for an entire week, or almost an entire week, all at one time. But anyway, to get back to my nutrition, when I first started working out, it wasn't good. It improved a lot, but I didn't go to fast food restaurants anymore. I had started eating frozen dinners and things like that, and things like Slim Fast, stuff like that. So my calories were way lower than what they should have been, and I'll explain more about that and what they should have been, and what each person should look at, whether male or female. That's called basal metabolic rate, Simply put, that means the number of calories you need to consume each day just to stay alive. Okay? So I dropped my calories way below what they should have been. But I was healthier. I just could have been more healthy, or healthier. I'm not sure how to say that, but anyway, it was not long after that 90 days, probably 9 months to a year into, because I'd lost a lot of weight, which resulted in the excess skin you might be able to see right now. You know, some of that is because of my recent situation with not being active because of falling off of a ladder accident, which was not good, and my metabolism fluctuates all the time because I have what is called hypothyroidism, and that is no fun. I'll be explaining more about hypothyroidism in the future. The thing about being healthy is a lot of people look at it as an aesthetic kind of thing, like getting healthy and having big guns and, you know, six-pack abs and stuff like that. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But the truth is that a lot of us, you know, don't have time to spend that much time, or the time required to make those aesthetic changes. You can be as healthy as as an athlete, pretty much. You may not look like an athlete, but your heart rate may be lowered. Your flexibility may improve. Your activity will be easier just by exercising, and you can have the same sort of physiological conditions to an extent. I mean, not exactly, of course. These guys they're working really hard, you know, all season long and even pre-season. See that right there. Got one more top there. It's okay. But you can get in really good shape. You don't have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone, who happens to be my personal hero. Growing up watching movies and stuff like that. But, getting back to nutrition, it was after about 9 months to a year after I'd lost a lot of weight that I decided that, you know, I'm going to step up my nutrition. I'm going to start cooking real food rather than getting frozen dinners and slim fast and fruits and cheese and stuff like that. So what I did was, by this time I had was starting P90X. So I'd gone from Power 90 to P90X, and I'd used that for a year or so, and I don't know, maybe the year after that I bought Insanity. And so I was using pretty much the Insanity food guide. And so I came up with different things. I mean, this has changed a lot over the years. I've made tweaks and variations, and I've changed up the recipes some. Now, I am a creature of habit, I must say. I forgot to put my turkey in here. So I'll cook the same things, and I know variety is good. It's just that I'm a little reluctant to try new foods. You know, it takes a while for me to get in the mood of something and to accept something new. and I'm making a note here, needs 1/4 ounce of turkey. So what I do is I put the tabs on the containers. This way means that it needs something. This way means that it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is put these in the refrigerator. Now I haven't lost my place with my story, I promise. I'll be right back. I'm going to put these in the refrigerator here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's going to be 6 days worth there. Okay, so again, sorry, probably sounds like I'm talking in circles, but I was getting back to eating healthy. So I had decided to start cooking my own food based on what I had seen in the Insanity workout guide. I had been cooking my own food prior to that. And it was a lot better than frozen dinners. But I wasn't using any particular food guide from any workout, not even P90X, which I should have. It's actually really good. It's the Insanity food guide. I just liked it a little bit better. So those will go in the dishwasher, I believe, and a little bit later. Now I'm going to put these containers back. Since I didn't use them, they'll go right back in here, maybe. If I can make it all fit. Okay. So these containers I will have to wash because I have nothing else to put in them right now. So I'll set those over here to be put into the dishwasher. I can throw these post-it notes away. Alright, that means the eggs are done. Okay, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to give the oatmeal a stir. Wow, it's really thickening up. I left that too long, I think. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want it to scorch or burn on the bottom. So give that a really good stir. I don't know if you can see that from there, but this is coming along quite nicely. All right. Oh, the other thing that I forgot was cheese. Spring mix. Oh, let's see. Pull, it says. Pull which way? Okay. That way. All right. So this is some spring mix. Following the 21-day fix food guide. What I had been doing with my turkey wraps is using 4 ounces of turkey, and then a boiled egg and a piece of cheese. That's what my turkey wrap consisted of. However, now I'm using about 2 ounces, like I mentioned before, of turkey. I'm going to use the full boiled egg, and I'm going to use the piece of cheese, but I'm going to use 1 green container of spring mix. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going right now. Let's see. I don't know. I'll give this a try. I used to use spinach in my turkey wraps also, but I'm kind of obsessive compulsive, and so I would have to peel the stems off each one. That makes about 10. So I'll set that right there. My spoon here. My cheese is here. It's provolone cheese, by the way. It says deli style. It's just a regular piece of cheese. It's not extra low fat or anything. Just provolone cheese. Anyway, again, I promise I haven't lost my place. I started eating more healthy using the Insanity food guide, and what I decided to do after doing that for several years, I decided to start using the 21-day fix just to see if it could change my diet any, if I could feel any different, if I could feel any better. I got high hopes, so I think it will work. A lot of people have used it, and a lot of people like it. I'm making a note. 1 green spring mix turkey wrap. Now, one thing that I did want to mention particularly is that, you know, we try to eat healthy, and I had been doing that for, let's see, from 2005 up until the end of 2011. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6 years. My metabolism started changing at the end of 2011. A lot of weird things started happening to me. I started having really bad pains in my neck. My arms started going numb on me, and you know, I went to the doctor a lot of times, several different doctors. I'd gone to my regular doctor. I'd gone to, he sent me to an orthopedist. A friend of mine saw me, and who I hadn't seen for probably a year at that point. And she asked me if it was like a neurological thing that I might have. I said, I don't know. Nobody seems to know. So I went to a neurologist. Everything was fine with that. Then I went to a baseball game in, I guess, of 2012, and my dad noticed that even though, I mean, it was so hot outside, you wouldn't believe it, but it was so hot, and I was sitting in front of the air conditioner, but I was freezing, I was shivering, and he took notice of that. And the reason he took notice is that because he is a veterinarian, and he didn't put it together at that time, but later on, I think it was in September or so, or early November. No, September. Yeah, it must have been middle or late September. We were talking, and by that time I had, you know, gained probably say 40 pounds, you know, 40 to 50 pounds. And I was still trying to work out, but I eventually got to the point that I couldn't work out. I was still eating healthy, but I couldn't get the weight off. And we were talking one night, and I said, am I ever going to get back in shape again? And, you know, my parents were being supportive, and they said, yeah, you know, you'll be able to do it. And I said, well, what's wrong with me? And my dad said, go back to the doctor again and have him read a blood test. Now, in this whole nearly 2-year time frame, no one had thought to read a blood test. So anyway, I didn't want to go. I was fed up with going to the doctors. I was sick of but I did go, and they called me the next day, and they said, you have to come in right away, you know, and see the results of the test. Okay, so I left work, I went in, and they showed me my T4 was 0.20, 0.20, and I can't remember what the normal range is. I think it's 0.89 to 1.75. So I was way low on my T4. The big number, the TSH, I was off the chart. I was greater than 150. Okay? Now, the range for the TSH is 0.3 to a maximum of 4. So 0.3 to a maximum of 4.0. And my reading was greater than 150. So the point to all this is, it doesn't matter how good you eat if your system's not functioning properly. In results of good nutrition, I'm not saying stop good nutrition, I'm saying stick with it like I did for the most part. No matter how good your nutrition is, if your body's not functioning properly, you're not going to see the results of those changes. So I just want to stress that if you think that you have any sort of problem at all, whether it's hypothyroidism, whether it's anything, I mean, I don't know, be sure to go to your doctor, and if your doctor won't listen, keep going. Find a different doctor who will, because your health is the most important thing, ultimately. Let's see, I'm going to take these boiled eggs now, and I'm going to have to cool them off a little bit before I start to peel them, because that's hot. I need some cool water here. A little cooler. It's a lot cooler, actually. And all this I'm doing while the oatmeal is still cooking. That'll be done for too long. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get another paper towel and show you what I'm going to do as far as cracking these eggs. And maybe you've got a good method of peeling boiled eggs. I've seen, actually, I'll try it here in just a minute, but I've seen a really unique way to peel a boiled egg. Looks good, right? Okay, you get those bits of shell all over your fingers and stuff. So, anyway, let's try. I can't try a unique way with this egg because I forgot. You have to. No, maybe I can. Okay, let's see. This will be a treat, maybe for some of you, for all of you. So, what you do is you peel the end off of one egg, and you peel the end off, the other end off, if you can. So that it looks a little bit like this. Okay? So you got like this and like that. So what I'm going to do, watch this. Not too bad. Shell doesn't taste good, but not too bad. Pretty clean. Actually, let's try that again. See if that'll work. I cracked this one too much. Okay. Let's see. Actually, what I would be interested in is if anybody sees this, go ahead and comment or send me a message about some of your favorite recipes, things that you like, whether you know what sort of containers it fits, or whether you just know the calories, the nutritional value of the meals you like to prepare. Let's see here. Give this another shot, right? See if the second one can come out as the first one. With this new method. Maybe you can try this at home. Ready? Check that out. It's not too bad. Shell free for the most part. I messed up again. I cracked it too much. Well, let's put it this way. We'll say 3 traditional peeling of the shell or whatever, and 3 the new way. A very good friend taught me. A good friend from Korea taught me. So, okay, that wasn't too